Moving on to Alabama, Mizzou.
Yeah.
This game was earlier in the day. I really enjoyed the hell out of this game. I enjoyed watching this game. I thought it was a relatively even match. I thought the difference was Ty Simpson, who did not have his best statistical game,
Right.
but again was just a steadying force back there. Did have a fumble early in the second half, which opened the door for Missouri to get back into this one. But other than that,
There were a couple of miscues. There was the, trip and knee down before handing it off on the goal line.
there, yeah,
There was some
I know, but
sloppiness from Ty Simpson. Continue, because I don't think that defines his day. Continue.
it doesn't. I think his day is defined by the fact that, again, the offense runs through Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Again, in general, though there were a couple miscues, pretty reliable, comes through when he has to. They are clearly growing more confident in his abilities back there. We have seen that progressively so
Yeah.
every week since that week one loss against Florida State.
Yes.
So, though I think Mizzou is super talented, and though I thought their defensive front was actually quite good in this game, I was really impressed by the manner in which Alabama won this game because this was
For sure.
very losable. Mizzou was there. They had an opportunity to win this game. They just couldn't quite get the finished product. They're not quite there yet, but Alabama to go on the road, hostile environment to win this game. They kept talking about it on the broadcast about how loud it was in Como.
Mhm.
I came
Without an
away
end
very
zone section, right? They're under
yeah.
construction. We got, by the way, 4K excavators back there in the background. I love seeing it. I love that.
I just thought this was a really impressive road win for Alabama in what was very clearly a losable game.
Yes. A few takeaways here was, Mizzou almost won that game with a quarterback who wasn't really throwing the ball with any sort of consistency in Bo Prabula. But I guess when you invest in Penn State, right, you take the good with the bad. Uh,
Hey, and Kevin Coleman was hobbled. He left the
Kevin
game in the
Coleman, right.
second quarter.
Yep.
There is a broader question about Mizzou moving forward. If I haven't seen his injury status, so if it's already been settled, you guys can correct me in the chat. But if he is hobbled for any extended period of time, or even a limited amount of time, given what Mizzou's got on the schedule, it's
Yeah.
not the hardest of SEC schedules, but it still is an SEC schedule. We still see teams losing week in and week out.
Yep.
I it does raise real questions if suddenly they don't have their main threat out there. They're already sort of limited as a
Yep.
passing entity, and especially the defenses that I think they have left on the schedule are probably good enough to try and shut down that run in the way that Alabama did.
Yes.
So if they turn Mizzou into more of a passing team, that's the open question I have about the Tigers moving forward.
Here's the good news for Mizzou. If you have a swarming defensive line and a rushing attack that at its best is one of the best in the nation, led by Ahmad Hardy, then you can still win a bunch, especially against this schedule. I
Sure.
love watching him. I almost got he's not built the exact same way. Their games aren't identical, but just in terms of vibes, a little bit of was it Muscle Hamster, Doug Martin? A little bit
Oh,
of that.
a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit of speed is a little bit more than you'd think, given how solidly built Ahmad Hardy is and his ability to just muscle through arm tackles. He's so impressive to watch, especially against a defense like Bama's. Another difference is Mizzou didn't have Caden Proctor wearing their uniform. And when you have that short yardage leaping into the air,
Dude
talent,
got some air. They used him down towards the goal line.
they
They
did on a
put him in the
key short
backfield.
yardage conversion. Yeah.
They put him in the backfield, got the conversion, and got a little bit of air, man. Got a little. I mean, these
They
guys are
did.
so freakishly athletic. It should surprise nobody, especially offensive linemen. They're not just built like refrigerators. They can
Right.
move, especially in this modern era where pass protection is so important.
Right.
But yeah, you got a guy like that. 360, is that what they said? Put him in the backfield, just
Something like that. Yeah.
pull him over. That was crazy.
And then just on the Ty Simpson, just the 4th and 8 throw up the sideline was enormous. Obviously, his ability to spread the ball around to various receivers. There wasn't any one guy who went off. Obviously, it was not a Ryan Williams go off for 163 yards type performance. Jam Miller was really good on the ground as Alabama continues to evolve there. And so Alabama won a losable game. There were moments that could have, balls bouncing either direction. There was a Ty Simpson throw that basically nailed a Mizzou defensive lineman square in the neck,
Right in
and
the
was just
neck.
fortunate. The guy didn't hold on to the ball and it bounced off him. I think it was maybe the Alabama center who ended up catching it for, a yard
Right.
or two gain. Like, there were just those moments that Alabama, it's not that it was a luck thing because it was just a crazy game going in both directions. But Alabama, especially, obviously final play of the game for Alabama picking off the Bo Prabula pass, was resilient enough to win a losable game. So impressed by Alabama in this spot. This sort of felt like a game they would have lost last year. And now Kalen DeBoer is, 45-0 wearing a black hoodie. Wasn't there was
12
some
and
stat.
2. It's
12
12
and
and 2.
2.
So what you're referencing is
Yeah.
an actual graphic
Mm-hmm.
that they flashed up on the screen when they were talking to him in the post game.
Yeah.
A graphic at the bottom that said that Kalen DeBoer is now 12 and 2 while wearing a black hoodie. I can't honestly
Great.
remember another situation in all of our years of doing this and all of my years as a fan watching college football where the research department was fully untethered and they allowed that graphic to appear, a silly graphic that is definitely more our brand than ESPN's.
I loved it.
I loved it. All about it. We will definitely be talking more about this black hoodie situation at some point in the near future. But alas, like you said, 27-24.
I will
was
say,
the
though, by the
final.
way, Ty, I never feel good about seeing those types, like thinking about the relationship between apparel and winning after Gary Patterson changed his shirt at halftime during the Alamo Bowl. Like, I still hear like the black choppers, right?
Yeah.
Anytime somebody starts talking about coach and apparel and how it's affecting the on-field performance. So anyway, here we are.
You might have to alter your game day apparel after what happened
100% need to, yes.
to the Oregon Ducks.
Full nude.